Hello humans, this is Retro Rocket Man back again with another video. This time round I've got a Grogu from the television show The Mandalorian. He's also known as the Child. He looks pretty cool. This particular one makes sounds when you squeeze him, little baby-like child sounds, because even in the show he doesn't actually talk. He's got some nice detail, although he's a bit bland and boring to look at, so I want to give him a new paint job and a bit of hair. So let's get to it, shall we? So he makes these little baby sounds when you squeeze him. He's got some nice details. He has a soft padded body, but his arms and feet and head are a firm plastic. Just right for painting. He's just a little bit flat, so I want to give him a new lease on life. So we're going to start by using some acrylic paints. First up, I'm using an Americana multi-surface satin, and it's a turf green. It's by Deco Art. Secondly, I'm using a bit of Blue Lagoon, and I'm just going to mix those together, trying to get to the right sort of tone of green that I want for his skin. And now I'm just using a cotton ball colour, again by Deco Art. These are multi-surface paints, so they go pretty well on a lot of different plastics. And finally, to try to get the right green tone, I'm using a colour called Chick, just to give it a bit more, I don't know, warmth, I guess. And my method is to brush it on and then using a sponge to sort of even out the brush strokes and help blend the skin tones, I guess. Just working it in so it all looks even and uniform, with some slight imperfections in the texture. Just lends itself to a better skin finish or look other than plastic. So the easiest way I found was to just use a brush and get the paint on there and then even it out with a sponge. While it's still wet, obviously, just work it in and work it over and work it around. This method also helps with just the blending of the different tones. Now I'm just going over it with a slightly lighter tint, and also working in the creases with a darker tint. You just work with layers until you get the look that you like. Here I've used a little bit of red barn just to bring out the pinkness, very, very subtly, and just build on it as you go, because he does have some slightly pink tones on his skin, on his face especially, and his ears, and just blending it with the sponge. Just going over some highlights with a much lighter shade. It's all about layering. figured the palms of his hands and the soles of his feet would be a slightly lighter colour as well, so that's the effect I'm trying to create here, with an almost white green. And again, just using the sponge just to subtly add it to his flesh tones. Using PVA glue, brushing it on, I'm going to create his peach fuzz hair with what commonly used for fish filters or cushion stuffing. It's a nylon type material, and I'm just putting it on lightly. I'm not worried about how long it is at the moment because I can trim it back later. So he has a bit of hair on his head and across the top of his ears, very sparingly. So I'll put his little jacket back on again, and you can see the soles of his feet there, and the little toenails and fingernails I've painted in off yellow. And he looks quite good. So there you have it, fellow humans. Here's a redo of a little Grogu character from Hasbro, and I think it came out quite nice. He's got the hair and he's got the highlights on the skin. He just looks a little bit more like he appears in the show. So this is Retro Rocket Man, over and out.